Daniel, I mean, short of a civil war, is there anything more anti-democratic than an insurrection or an attack against the Capitol on the day that Congress is certifying the results of a free and fair presidential election?
No, it's really quite striking because it really combines two different things. On the one hand, not accepting the results of elections, which is the core pillar of democracy. And second of all, allowing for violence to take place, political violence, and not unambiguously separating themselves from that. So, so in terms of the question of are they really authoritarian, even if they don't say they're authoritarian, those are two key check marks against this.
They've also now, Daniel, I mean, taken it a step further, which is, not only was the big lie pushed, but the former president continues to undermine democracy, continues to undermine and talk about push the big lie. The Republican Party has embraced the big lie, and they are now creating legislation in state houses across the country based on this lie.
Yeah, this is the biggest threat facing American democracy today, is what's happening across the U.S. states and Republican-led states. One of the points of our book was that democracies don't die at the hands of generals anymore. In military coups, democracies die at the ballot box. And I think the biggest threat that we face is that in 2022, if the Republicans retake the House, which they very well might, you could very well imagine a 2024 election, no matter who the candidate is, no matter what the results are, that state legislatures across the country will throw the election to the House of Representatives. And you have to wonder, will a Republican Trumpified House of Representatives ever vote in favor of a Democratic nominee for president even if the Democrat has won?
Steve, has there been another point in American history where democracy was as threatened as it potentially is now?
The Civil War.
Yeah.
Beyond the Civil War, no. Certainly in no one's living memory has, not Nixon, not Roosevelt, not McCarthyism, democracy's never been under threat in this way. And we do not consider ourselves particularly alarmist. And we are now convinced that there's a serious chance that the Republican Party tries to steal the 2024 election. I think 2020 ended up being a dress rehearsal in which Republicans learned that there are levers that they can pull to throw out ballots in rival strongholds based on false allegations of fraud or based on technicalities.